Hezbollah vows to punish Israel after pager explosion across Lebanon, okay? And by the way, this wasn't just when you think about how strategic it was, Hezbollah vows to fair punishment against Israel after accusing it of detonating pagers across Lebanon, killing 9 people, which is, I think it's 12 now, 2 kids, and wounding, it says nearly 3,000, so around 2,800 people, including fighters and civilians. The explosions occurred in Hezbollah strongholds and were described as the group's biggest security breach. Israeli military declined to comment on the detonations, but the New York Times reported that the explosive material was already hidden in the pagers imported to Lebanon from Taiwan, remotely detonated by Israel's forces. Hezbollah described this as a targeting of an entire nation with casualties amongst prominent Hezbollah members. And by the way, one of them was the ambassador, which was Iranian ambassador to Lebanon. And why does he have one of those pagers, which was the strangest thing out of everything that you're talking about, right? And he's the one that lost one eye and was severely wounded in his other eye. 2 of his guards were also wounded from the explosion. Rob, do you have any of the videos to show? Folks, we're going to play one of the videos, just brace for impact. Just show the one in the market. Don't show the one the dangling that Tom's talking about. Show the one in the market on what happened. Because
Reuters fuzzed it out, but you can see.
Reuters fuzzed it out.
It's like a chunk of his thigh.
Oh, that's terrible, Tom.
And Pat, while he's looking, the reason that they're using the pagers and flip phones is because it's
second one. You had it. Go to that one right there. Yeah, watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Watch this.
The guy in the...
Real fast.
So that's the guy on the left?
Yeah.
It was his pager. So that means he's a member of Hezbollah. That's what that means. Yeah. So if you had a pager that exploded, you were a member of the Hezbollah. And by the way, do you know it all exploded at 3:30 p.m.
on the dot.
On the dot. They all got the same message, right? It was around 5,000 of these pagers that they had when it exploded. You know, it's Taiwan made 3:30 Lebanon time after they got the message. And then in February, one of the Hezbollah leaders warned them to say, don't carry phones because it's worse than Israeli Mossad. Yeah. So Hezbollah leaders saying, don't carry phones because Mossad is, let's go back to old school.
Let's detect
So look at how Mossad, if they're behind this, they hear that message, they go get the pagers, they send it in to sell it to them and give them the access, and they put the explosive in them. And then he said, go and bury your phones or put it in an iron box. And next thing you know, something like this takes place. What are your thoughts? I'll go with you first.
I mean, listen, the tactic, because when we heard it and it was unfolding, I was like, dude, a smart, listen, if you want to bring terror to the terrorists, this is it, Pat, because they're using old school devices because they're less traceable and hackable. And the thing that it was at 3 p.m., Pat, they got an incoming message that appeared to originate from senior Hezbollah leadership. So they were like, hey, what's happening over here? And then boom, they all went off. Listen, and like I said, I'm all for killing terrorists. The more the merrier. This is a touchy situation because I think the actual numbers, Pat, you said it, it's attacks involving the explosions by Hezbollah resulted in 20 deaths, more than 2,800 injuries, which are civilians. So this is where you have to weigh in. You got 20 guys. I don't know out of those 20 deaths, two kids. Like, the fear factor is there, but the 2,800, I think, like, for instance, they were in a market there. This was a different situation. I guess one of them went off at a funeral, which was a lot bigger, and I think killed another person. So it's like they're bringing the fight to the terrorists, which I actually like. But the only thing is, to me, it's the civilians, the civilian highly. But this is what the scary thing is too. Now, by the way, they went into their supply chain, right, PBD? So now, who's to say, Tom? By the way, and let me just say this really fast, PBD. It went so a Taiwanese-based pager company, Gold Apollo, they placed 2 ounces of explosives in each pager in the battery and imported them to Lebanon. Who's to say, God forbid, this happens in a shipment of iPhones that are coming somewhere and this happens here? This can make somebody else go, wait a minute, what a great idea. All you have to do is jump into the supply chain, Tom, and do it here.
Well, right? I have 2 quick thoughts. And the first quick thought is, when you're dealing with an enemy that uses civilians as human shields, tragically, you're going to have civilians hit. And it's horrifying and it's terrible, but it's the reality of a war when cowards want to hide among civilians. Gone are the days where, like you see in movies and you see historical pictures where Two armies line up on either side of some line and they go after each other. We're dealing with now cowards that want to conduct, their terror this way. And now to come back, think about it. This is an amazingly strategic move. They are correctly telling people, don't carry an iPhone or an Android because those can be tracked even when it's turned off. That's correct. So I'm not in favor of any terrorism, but if they're saying, guys, you probably shouldn't carry that, that's probably correct not to be tracked. We'll get these pagers, and then Mossad finds out.
I have one thing I want to say that I think is big, but anything else, Tom?
No. And then
Adam,
Mossad
what are your thoughts?
just figures it out and says, okay, here's your pager.
So what's the reason that Israel did this on Hezbollah? Everyone's focusing on the war that's going on in Gaza, where they're fighting against Hamas, and there's a whole conversation to be had there. But what a lot of people don't know is that there's war coming from all sides against Israel. The Turkish president Erdogan is like, the Israeli expansionism. It's like, the expansionism? People all around them are trying to attack them. Now, what's going on in Hezbollah? That's in Lebanon. This is not in Gaza. There's also stuff going on in Syria. We know what's going on in Yemen. They're getting it from all sides. And what's going on in the north of Israel, near the Golan Heights, everything near there, which is a territorial dispute for years with Lebanon, Syria, in that range, is that almost 100,000 Israelis had to move out of that area. Why? Why do they have to move out of that area? Because Hezbollah, which is a terrorist group, has been shooting thousands and thousands and thousands of rockets into Israel on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Just imagine you're in LA and south of the border in Tijuana, they're shooting rockets into LA or into San Diego. What would the USA response be? Okay, I can assure you it wouldn't be, let's go attack some beepers. But Israel's basically fighting a different type of warfare. So there's this type of warfare, is obviously tactical warfare, but there's also mental warfare. Now you have Hezbollah, which is basically controlling, 20% of Lebanon. What a disgrace that's turned into an amazing country called Lebanon, which used to be sort of a place where Christians, Jews, Muslims could all live, even Druze. And now it's just being run by this terrorist organization. So they said, how can we strike fear into these people and eliminate some of the terrorists? At any point, mental warfare kicks in and you don't know what's coming your way. This situation was called Operation Below the Belt because a lot of people are wearing beepers. Why the hell you rocking beepers these days? You made a good point, is because they basically said, hey, don't use cell phones anymore. They're using the cell phones. Let's get beepers. Bingo, let's get some beepers. Yeah. Here's one last thing. There was actually a satirical post about sort of these Israeli guys sort of imitating what would the conversations be like after this. It's like, oh, we don't use the beepers. This whole thing, 72. That's Tommy Robinson posted that. He says, "What? There you go. Congratulations." These two basically Hezbollah terrorists are basically talking, and one guy goes, "You want some coffee?" Yeah, I'll take coffee. Yeah, go press the button. Go make the coffee. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to press the button for the coffee. It's you hot? You're a little hot? Yeah, turn on the AC.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if I want to press this button. Oh. Are you gaining a little weight? Step on the scale. Oh. Is this a digital scale? It's a digital scale. I think I'm doing okay. Yeah. So now they're walking you through this process of now any single thing you're going to touch, button, this, that. Now the Hezbollah terrorists are like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to start this car. I don't know if I want to turn on this engine. I don't know if I want to press this button. Yeah. Boom, mental warfare.
All this leads to psychological warfare.
Yes.
Let me tell you, if you want to mess, do you know what this does to you? The impact of it psychologically. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you how weird it was. My dad calls me yesterday. I'm in a meeting with Rob. Do you remember this, Rob?
Yes.
My dad calls me. Marla, kul me de spoiler. Ja, kul me de spoiler. Telefoon nog moet jullie. How's your telephone doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, my telephone is doing good. He says, are you seeing what's going on with these things? I said, Dad, they're pagers. He says, but you listen, I've even seen, by the way, he's right. iPhones are also have exploded. And remember when Droid, you couldn't even have a Droid on a flight like four years ago, 5 years ago?
Burning up.
Yeah, they were blowing up. But Rob, if you can pull up the story, this is the girl behind it, by the way, which is very interesting, right? Go a little lower. This is the CEO of the company that made the pagers. And you have to see what she lists on her LinkedIn right there. This is the girl. Look what she lists as her strengths and her studies. Zoom in a little bit. Christina Barsoni Arsidiacono, who studied in London and lists disaster management as one of her skills. Is listed, it's not funny, but it's funny, right? Is listed as the CEO of the Hungarian-based company BAC Consulting, initially believed to have supplied the devices to the Lebanese group. She denies any knowledge of the alleged plot. Okay,
you better watch her.
This is what the pagers look
The company
like.
is called BAC.
Yes, but you're going to see the
Stands
rest.
for badass chick.
Yeah, so this is the pager, which by the way, back in the days, this was like if Telestar, like in Glendale,
I love those.
Yeah, this was like legit, right? Keep going, Rob. And so these are the pictures of what happened. Keep going. That's what it looks like after it exploded. Okay, keep going. I think that's the picture Tom was talking about. Go lower. You'll see the picture that Tom had on his phone. Keep going lower. Go lower. Go lower. You'll see the picture, and then I want you to go up. That's the guy. So pagers are in your
Blew
pocket.
up his hand.
So go up. Let me read this. This is the part. The other way, Rob. Up. Yeah. Right. Go all the way up to this section. Just this section. Keep going. Right there. Okay. So according to the New York Times, little higher, Rob. Just this section when it starts. Go a little higher. There you go. Okay. Israeli spies were already working on their ingenious plan long before February when Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah said that Israel was using cell phone networks to pinpoint the location of his operatives. You can ask me. You ask me where the agent is, Nasrallah told his followers in a publicly televised address. I tell you that the phone in your hands, in your wife's hands, and in your children's hands is the agent. Then he urged them, bury it, put it in an iron box and lock it. He had been pushing for years for Hezbollah to invest instead in pagers. So he said, let's go to pagers, which for all their limited capabilities could receive data without giving away, Rob, if you can go a little lower, give away users' location and other compromising information. According to the New York Times, one of the Mossad shell companies was BAC Consulting in Budapest, Hungary, set up to produce the devices on behalf of a Taiwanese company, Gold Apollo. Gold Apollo chair Su-Ching Kwang told journalists Wednesday the firm has had a licensing agreement with BAC for the past 3 years. According to the cooperation agreement, we authorize BAC to use our brand trademark for product sales in designated regions, but the design and manufacturing of the product are solely the responsibility of BAC, Gold Apollo said, meaning they design it, they build it, they produced it, they send it to this consulting firm, they undid it, put a bomb in there, okay, with a trigger at any time, then they sold it to you.
Wow.
So it's not the developers of the pagers that did this, is the consulting firm that bought the thousands and then send it over to...
You know what it is, PBD?
Yeah, and it
Don't
continues.
mess with
BAC
Mossad.
did not take in ordinary clients for which it produce a large range. By the way, imagine now every human being that bought this pager, what they're thinking.
I was just going to say, like,
honey, get rid of it.
please.
But who's using pagers these
No,
days?
no,
A
That's
lot
the
of
point.
people,
No.
a lot of
But
people
you
in
know
this
what?
region.
Mossad
Well,
knew who they were shipping
yeah,
to.
exactly.
Mossad knew exactly who
of
they
course,
were doing.
and Pat, these companies,
Yeah.
I mean,
One
they got to
for
be
you and
careful
one
now.
for you, not you, you.
Yeah, retaliation is going to be big. But now, and you guys nailed it with the what's it called, the psychological warfare. What are they going to do now? They're not going to go. They're not going to go to cell phone. I mean, iPhones and stuff. They're going to go carrier pigeon. Like I don't understand what they're going to do because they can't go back.
They're going to go back to smoke signals and blankets. And blankets.
Yeah.
They might. PBD, you know, a couple of podcasts ago, we talked about what a magician does to distract and what they do to create a diversion tactic. So you're looking over here, and boom, they get you over here. So they recognize, listen, Mossad, you know, is everywhere, especially in the Middle East. That's the thing with these Israelis. They kind of just look like Arabs a lot of the time. You don't know the difference. Yeah. You put on a little, whatever this whole deal is, and now you don't know what's going on. So what happens is they're basically sent out this fake signal, the distraction. Yeah, the cell phones. They're coming for the cell phones. Boom, they set them up one way. All right, now they're going the pagers. Guys, got them. We got them with the pagers. And then they're creating this distraction. What's the Mossad? What's CIA? What is MI6? There's one word that is a root word in all these things. That is intelligence. The intelligence of Mossad. And in conjunction, a lot of times with the CIA. So sometimes, you know, we have the conversation of why is Israel and America so tight? You know how many secrets these guys know about each other? You know how much MI6, the UK, CIA, dude, they're trying to stop terrorism all over the world. They're not focused on Gaza, Palestine. They're focused on Boko Haram, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, the Triple H crew, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis. They're trying to attack these terrorists everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you ever seen the movie Fauda or the show Fauda, you'll understand what they got going on. They're going to get the terrorists before the terrorists go get them.
I'm not to add light to the situation, but there had to be that one terrorist that wasn't in on, like, he was late, or he's like, why didn't you?
It was his first day.
Yeah. And he's like, why didn't you page me? And you're like, you didn't hear about Muhammad? No, what? He's a shkata that he's finished. He's like, why did you tell me?
This is why. It's the perfect timing for this. This is why we have decided to change our entire phone system at Valuetainment. And this is our new sponsor, folks. We're moving our phone system
Alexander
to
Graham
old
Pang.
school. There's nothing they can do to this. It's bulletproof. These are 85 pounds each. You can use it for dumbbells. You can use it for everything. Every time you make a phone call, your biceps are workout throughout the day.
They will put something
here,
in
Watson.
there.
I
You
need
don't know
you.
what will
Can
happen.
you do me a favor, Rob? Can you pull up the Lebanese ambassador that had one go off? Let's see who this guy is and who his connections are. Can you go to him? That's who I want to know who this guy is. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Rob?
Mutai. His name is Mojataba.
Yeah, let's pull that name up and let's see
There
what
it is.
comes up. Okay, just go to his Wikipedia. Let's see what we have here. Iranian diplomat who has served as Iran's ambassador to Lebanon since 2002. Prior to this, he headed the Iran's interest section in Egypt from 2013 to 20. Interesting. Egypt in September 2024. Okay, so he's part of. Amani holds a master's degree in international relations from University of Tehran. Amani began working at the ministry. My mom went to University of Tehran, working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1988 with his role as the deputy head of ministry office. Can you just Google why he was there? Why? Yeah, let's see. Why was he there? That's what I'm curious about. Go ahead.
Lebanon?
I have a separate
I can tell
question.
you
It's
why.
very
Have a
short.
pager, yes.
Why?
I can tell you why.
Yeah. Why did Mossad make sure that guy had a pager, or why did he order one? I have my iPhone. I also need one of those special pagers.
Well, if it hit his eye,
I got some buds over there. I got to talk to my crew.
You're going there is where you're going.
Me?
Yes.
I'm like, it's simple. Why is he holding one of the pagers that Hezbollah? I haven't seen any reports that there was innocent civilians with one of these that had it. I've heard
what's his
reports
name,
that
Rob?
civilians were hurt.
Are you
Can I
talking
see
about
his
this
name?
guy, Mojtaba
Why
Amani?
did spell it for me, Mojtaba
Mojtaba Amani.
have
Thank
a-
God I have Persians here
Go to
and
Mossad
Assyrians here to pronounce these names.
You're welcome.
Mojaji, Amani, Kabumi,
Not you,
Faldouni.
not you, Tom.
Why did Mojtaba
Kabumi
Amani
Yeah.
Mojtaba?
I can tell you why, Pat.
Go ahead, tell me.
Well, look, we don't have to look too far. We don't have to connect too many dots. A few weeks ago, there was a guy called Ismail Haniyeh. He was the leader of Hamas. Where did allegedly the Mossad or the IDF get him and kill him? Do you remember?
Which guy?
Where?
The Ismail Haniyeh?
Yeah.
Do you remember where they got him?
No.
In Tehran, Iran, leading with the Ayatollah Khomeini. And they went and got the leader of Hamas, who was meeting with the supreme leader Ayatollah of Iran, and killed him in his hotel room in the capital of Iran. So this is just an extension of that. What does this all mean? Number one, we know that Iran is funding this terrorism. We know that. They've given billions to this group. But what's the number two thing? You talked about psychological warfare. What's the Mossad basically telling you? We're smarter than you. We're sharper than you. We're more clever than you. We're going to figure things out. And by the way, we're going to come get you wherever you are. If you're plotting and planning on destroying our country, we're going to go get you. And they went and they got the leader of Hamas in Tehran, and they went and they got this new leader in Lebanon. So I don't know. Do you have a different opinion on that?
I'm just curious. Tom, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm saying when Mossad wants to get somebody, you remember when there was a guy, Adam, help me with this. There was was he a PLO official that was in what the PLO became, right?
What year?
But Arafat, it only goes back about 8 years. And he was in his office in Lebanon, and it was a drone that fired a short range, high intensity, almost like a Hellfire missile, right into where he was. And they did it tracking the phone. They knew exactly where he was, and they put a missile right in there, and it blew the corner of the building, like right on the third, fourth floor, wherever it was, right into this guy. So when Mossad decides, or the CIA green lights, that, you know what, this guy needs to go, you know, he'll be in his car going around the airport, you know, okay, U.S. said, okay, you're done.
What
or the
doing,
guy sitting in his office in Lebanon when Mossad said, hey, it's time to go get this guy. And CIA said, yep, you can do it. And we helped them with the drone and a Hellfire missile. Bing.
Well, at the end of the day, what they're doing with this is very clear. It's very tactical, it's surgical, and they're going after exact people. There's a whole nother different conversation that we can have what's going on in Gaza and whether it's over the top or not. But against these people, they are being surgical and taking them out.
And Adam, you made a great point. Like, you know, when I first realized what and who Mossad was, do you guys remember the Munich massacre in 1972?
Yeah, 1972, of course.
Dude, Spielberg made a movie called
Eric
Munich.
Bana.
Bro,
Yeah.
Munich. They went after,
That's
I
what
think it was
the
Black
show-
September.
That's what the show Fauda is about.
It was
Yeah.
Operation Wrath of God. They carried out by Mossad. Tom, it took years, and they went after every single. And by the way, they did. You know that phone that Pat was joking around about. That's how they killed one of the guys. He picked up that phone and it blew up in the movie. That type of phone. But this movie, you want to talk about a have you seen this one?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what a fantastic movie!
That's Eric Bana, right?
Eric Bana. That's when I found out about what Mossad's capability was.
Rob, pull up the story, zoom in, regime mob leader. This is September 20th, which is when? This is, what's today's date?
Today's
It's not exactly a year ago.
A year.
20th
Okay.
of a year ago.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so
It's like, this is
exactly a year
tomorrow's
ago.
news? Wow, they're good.
VTnews.ai, you got future news.
These guys are good, man. This thing didn't even happen tomorrow.
Regime mob leader. By the way, VTnews.ai has a predictive element to it as well,
Got it.
which we're excited about.
I'd be very intimidated if I was that guy and I found out that I'm dying tomorrow.
Regime mob leader accompanies Iranian president during U.S. visit. Okay, go lower to see who this guy is. Go lower, Rob, to see who he is. A leader of government vigilante mob who carried out the 2011 storming of the British embassy in Tehran is now accompanying Iran's president during the visit. What? Mojtaba Amini is also the producer of a TV series that has been criticized for glorifying imprisonment of dual nationals. Okay, so got it. So Golor is a leader of vigilantes who stormed the bridge. Can you play the video? Let's see what he sounds like here. Play this video.
آقای امینی شما تهیه کننده سریال امنیتی گاندو هستید درسته؟
What's he saying, Pat?
راحت اومدید نیویورک آقای
Came
امینی
here comfortably.
شما که با نیروهای امنیتی سریال ساختید چطوری ویزا گرفتید آقای
How'd you get
امینی؟
your visa?
ما با مجموعهایی که تروریست هستن صحبت نمی‌کنیم.
شما خودتون متهمید به اعمال تروریستی در جامعه جهانی آقای امینی.
مزدور هستید ما باهاتون صحبتی نداریم.
شما متهمید توسط جامعه جهانی به تروریسم دولتی.
Putting him on blast, Pat?
Yeah, he is. He's
putting
calling him
him on
out on
blast.
what
What
I
did
don't
they
want to
say
talk.
exactly?
I don't want to talk about anything having to do with terrorism. Let's see what it says. Has been granted a visa to visit New York 12 years after storming the bridge. This is him, by the way, right there in the front.
Yep.
So that's interesting. So there's a reason why they target. Keep going low, Rob. Let's see what else it says here. Leader of the vigilante. Go a little higher. Go right. Leader of the vigilantes was okay. Go lower. Granted. Okay, keep going. So Amini's producing the Gando was aimed to undermine the administration of former President Hassan Rouhani while receiving praise from supporters of superior leader Al Khamenei. Okay, so he was not a Rouhani guy. Member of the President Hossein Rouhani's administration, including Foreign Minister Javan Zarif, protested the series and even wrote a letter of complaint to Khamenei requesting its cancellation. Despite the protest, second season of its series was produced. The first season was drawn inspiration from Khamenei's repeated warnings about the enemy infiltration of the nuclear negotiation team. Ando got it. In June, Mohammed, Iran's Ministry of Culture, appointed Mojab Amini as the advisor. Amini served as the secretary of the 41st edition of Annual International Affairs Forum. Okay, so he's somebody. There's a reason why they targeted this guy. This guy seems like to have a history. Rob, put Mojtab Amini. Let me see what's on there. Lebanon, ambassador to Lebanon. Interesting. What? Because he accused of Zionist plan. That is so. Okay, here we go.
Bingo.
I just found it. Okay, let's play this one, Rob. Not play. Pull up this clip. Pull up this clip if you can that I just sent you. This guy's interesting. Why would you target this guy? Why would you? They didn't want to hurt this guy. They wanted to kill this guy. This is not a guy they're trying to hurt. They're trying to kill this
Well, what's
guy.
he doing now, and why did he end up with a pager?
Okay, so watch this, Rob. Pull up, do you have the link to the article? Okay. Has Iran's ambassador to Lebanon defected to Israel? He accuses it of Zionist plot. Mojtaba Amini, Iran ambassador to Lebanon, took to social media on Wednesday to refute swirling rumors about his supposed defection to Israel. These rumors have been dismantled by Israel's psychological warfare networks, stemming from their apprehension about potential Iranian responses. What?
What?
Did you get it? Let me read this one more time and tell me what it means. Iran's ambassador to Lebanon took on social media on Wednesday to refute swirling rumors about his supposed defection to Israel. What does it mean, defection to Israel?
He's basically denouncing his Iranian whole affiliation, and he's going to
help Israel.
He's helping Israel. He's flipping.
He's making aliyah.
Yeah.
Go lower. Zoom in.
Doubtful.
So the top diplomat of Lebanon has forcefully rejected reports of his alleged allegation of Israel, characterizing them as a deliberate misinformation of the efforts via social media. Amini, Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, took on social media on Wednesday to refute this rumor. Go lower, Zionist, go lower. By the way, what a move, Israel, if that's what I'm thinking. Salam alaikum. I mean, these rumors have been dismantled by Israel's networks. In the recent days, Iran and Israel have been clashing rhetorically after Tehran blamed Israel for assassinating Hamas. Ismail Hanai on its own soul. Late July, Iran's leaders
there you go,
has
right
vowed to retaliate after the breach. Okay, so let me say this. If they're doing this, man, that is some... So... Let me tell you how I read this.
Yep.
Israel creates the rumor through their media that this guy's turned against Iran to create a division within the community. Mm-hmm. So they create the division within the community because now internally some people now don't trust him, because what if 5% this is true? Then after there's division within it, guess what? Blow up his pager. How do you read it, Tom?
Well, I read it as... he wasn't just an ambassador. He's working with somebody because he had one of the pagers. And so the Hezbollah, bought the pagers, Israeli through their BAC shell company in Hungary made sure they bought them. So how did this guy get one of the pagers? Hey, buddy, to talk to the rest of the crew, you're going to need this. Yeah. He's talking to them. He's staying in touch with Hezbollah somehow. And perhaps he was shifting.
But why is Israel saying that he defected to Israel? Why is that? And who creates that rumor? Israel, Mossad, or internal?
Well, Mossad is out there creating... Look, there's there's military warfare.
Yep.
There's strategic intelligence warfare, like terrorism on both sides behind the scenes. And there's psychological warfare.
and technological warfare. That's part of it.
Exactly. Right. And so... it boils down to me, Pat. There's a lot of motive and everything behind it, like you're pointing out, which is really good and deep. But there's also, why did you have a Hezbollah pager? Someone on the Hezbollah crew said, you need one of these to talk to who?
Let me tell you. One time, there's two guys that are each saying that the other person is leaking information on me. Okay? And do you understand what I'm saying or no? Mm-hmm. So... do I even want to go tell this story?
Just use fake names.
Here's all. I'm not even going to use fake names or anything. The method of finding out of who has your back and who doesn't, it's not hard to do. It's so easy to do. It's not hard to do because there's so many methods. All it takes is a day, a week, a month to know who is fully loyal to you and who's only fully loyal to your face. That is by far the easiest way to do it. For you to filter out, you send those pagers to Hezbollah. Whoever Hezbollah gives those pagers to, those are loyalists. You just identified who this guy really is. What a way to filter people out. What a freaking way to. When I interviewed the former director of Mossad 4 years ago, he wouldn't say nothing. He was bulletproof. Bulletproof. These guys are... some of the most incredible, no, it wasn't him. It was one of the older ones from the 80s or the 90s. The former, if you type in the history of director of Mossad, I'll tell you which one it was. Shabbat
Shalom. No?
Go, let me see which one it is. Keep going lower. If you got the history.
Now we're going down the rabbit hole here.
Keep
punching a little bit
keep
right
going,
there.
Keep going. That's the one right there.
Right here?
Shabtai Shavit. Yeah. man, he would not say anything when he and I said. It was a great conversation, but he was like,
He's not budging.
you could tell.
He died recently. September.
The interviews online.
Last
He
year.
died in Sicily, Italy. Well, listen, may God, may he rest in peace. For the last 9 months, we built this news site, hired 15 machine learning guys. If you haven't yet subscribed, there's 3 tiers: freemium, $4.99, $19.99. $19.99 gives you the whole thing. Lopsided timelines. You can find out AI questions, unlimited questions. It costs us a lot of money the more questions you ask, but this is not just like any question you want to ask. You can go on there and type in, like, here, go to the first one right there. What does it say? What are the top 5 events today? Let's type that and go to it, Rob. Let's see what it comes up. It answers the questions for you with our AI. It's got the lopsided stories. Here we go. So based on the recent news articles, here, United States ranks amongst the lowest developed nations overall healthcare performance despite spending the most on healthcare. Nevada Secretary of State Cisco Aguilar is focused on election integrity and workers' protection, including passing a bill. This is just right now, like what people are thinking about right now, the last hour. Over 20 women have been accused of the late billionaire Mohammed Al-Fayed of sexual assault, including 5 claims of rape, as revealed in a BBC documentary. Anduril Industries has partnered with Microsoft to enhance the U.S. Army's integral visual augmentation system, integrating its lattice software to improve. Cool. Various organizations are working to protect voting rights and enhance civic engagements as 2024 engagements are coming around the corner. There's so many different elements to VTnews.ai. This is going to be the aggregator many will be using moving forward. I want to encourage you, go to VTnews.ai, Rob, put the link below in the chat section, comment section. Go test it out for yourself.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.